All right. See, that time it said. That time it said. Um. Whoop. I'm all over the. I'm not all over the place. That time it said disconnected on OBS. I'm gonna find the perfect place for this. For this to go live. And what's going on, Tyrese Gorin? You retracted your hey. But we seen ya. We see ya. But to traverse my mind and get off that train and go on another train. When I was skateboarding out in the park yesterday and I was off the dose of mushrooms, after I got off, after I got off your stream, and I was just in the zone. I was skateboarding, but when I skate, it's like I'm an alien now. It's like I'm an alien skating. I feel so free about it. And not an alien is a bad thing. I just feel free when I'm skating. Like I'm not so much about everybody looking at me. It's like I'm taking part in the scenery instead of being so wary of being part of the scenery. Like, oh, people, like I already said, people looking at me and stuff. And the way that I was saying before, how it allows me to interact with my body, it loosens up a lot of tightness. Because you see your tightness that you have when you skateboard. And you see the tightness that pops up when you want to do a trick and you trying to kick your foot that way, but it keep going that way, keep going crooked. And you're like, yo, I got to focus to kick that foot that way and then kick that up and jump high enough and try to not think about it all at the same time. That muscle memory is like the kick mushrooms like brought back a lot of muscle memory where I was able to do stuff without thinking about it. I just had to feel it. I had to feel it, and then the thought and the action of my hands and arms and stuff was the result of that. And it felt tastic, felt real tastic, as people will say. Did it start another stream? Hmm. I hope this all stitches it together as one in the end. That would be tight. That would be tight if they can hook me up like that. But no, eventually after that, I went down. I went to the skate park, and I was just seeing everybody skating, and then I was participating in myself, and it was just dope. It was a dope experience because I felt light in my body. I felt light in my body where I wasn't always just telling my legs what to do, but my legs was just doing the do, was doing the do. And only when they messed up, I just had to. I wasn't even irritated. Oh, I was just like I was just laughing. I was smiling while skating, and that's a rare experience for somebody once they're past their 20s. Like I'm 27, and I didn't have this kind of experience and joy since I was little, since I was young skating like this. And most people are not able to carry this joy of an activity throughout their life unless they've been doing it since from birth. Like I felt like a person that's been doing it forever, like since I was 5 or something. And don't you hear when you hear them say, I've been singing since I was 5, I've been writing music, I've been doing this since I was a little kid. And then you see the joy in their face and their eyes and how they execute it. Like it seemed like magic how they execute it. It feel like that's how it is when I was on mushrooms. I've been skating for a while, getting back into it and allowing mushrooms to allow my mind and body to not the frustration get in the way of learning a skill. A skill. A skill. That's what I can branch off with. A skill is what these substances really teach that we don't really have, especially in America. A lot of us don't have a particular skill that we can say, this is what I'm able to produce. Like, this is what I can do that I feel is dope to me. It makes me feel dope when I'm accomplishing these things. A lot of us don't have that. We have social media, we have our Facebook, we have our Instagram. We say, check out my Instagram. We got cool pictures. Like, this is my skill. I know how to put those right hashtags. I know how to put the right quotations. I know how to put the right status that's going to get these likes. That's my skill. And then the other skill that's taken up is by usually a 9 to 5 that most people don't even really enjoy. Like I have a lot of skills built up in customer service, and how to stack boxes and inventory, and how to interact with customers when they coming in the store, and make sure the setting is right to how the store wishes to pronounce themselves, which is to because stores are entities. So when you take place in the store, you just wanted to work in mechanisms that's keeping it going. So all your ideas and skills is going towards the betterment of the company, not particularly yourself. No matter how good and comfortable they try to make you feel. And I hear this all the time from myself and my inner voice, which is now just completely me, and from people that make a lot of money or are comfortable doing a job that they're happy with. When they look at other people, they're like being a slave to something. They like, you're a slave to this. Like, this is just how I see it. And you're a comfortable slave, you're a happy slave, but you're still a slave. You're still a slave. A house slave is what they used to call them back in the day. You getting fed, you got a house, you got a family, like the co-workers, but it's still a fake family. They ain't really your family. They ain't gonna talk to you really after you leave the job. Like, like everything is used to maintain that. But with these substances, you see, like, what is the skill set that I have? It's even a lawyer talk. Lawyers be leaving their jobs after having these substances that that had whole law firms and had people working for them. It's a Reddit story I'm gonna find. I'm gonna put it out there. And he was saying that now I'd rather live with my parents, and now he has a customer service job where now he's comfortable, where he can build up himself. He want to build up himself from this point. And it's something, I just think that we should try to do the opposite. Like, rich people always trying to do this, and poor people should always be trying to do this, or not always, but should just try to play more with this instead of being satisfied. Never being satisfied with something. Like, he built up them skills of being a lawyer, but that skill was probably, his dad was probably a lawyer, his uncle was probably a lawyer, and it's probably a family of lawyers. So it's a skill, but it's not a skill that he really wanted. It's not a skill that he really wanted to build up. So he like, I'm good at this. I'm awesome. I'm fantastic at this. I made a lot of money, met a lot of people doing this, but it's not really what I wish to do. And I had these thoughts going through my head when I grew up with my uncle, because he always said he's a lawyer. He's recognized by the country and stuff. He like he had to travel to D.C. or Washington or some state Washington D.C. and he had to see. And he was recognized, but he would tell me that he wanted to be a landscaper. He liked to arrange flowers. He arranged all the flowers and stuff around his house himself, and that's what he likes to pay attention to. So, what if he had a psychedelic experience and then he turns around, and now he wants to be a landscaper and leaves that job, cause he he's not a real emotional showing person, and the whole family accept, or his brothers and sisters, that which my aunts and grandma accepts, that that's just the way your uncle always been. He always had his mind set on going to school, getting his degree, because he never wanted to be like how he was when he was growing up. So that was his motivation. And it's wild how the world feeds into that, because then they'll start putting teachers in your face, because his motivation was that teachers always said he wasn't never going to be anybody. So he was like, I'm going to be somebody. And it's wild how the picture just all puts it up, because the best picture that was in front of his face for his moment was to be a lawyer. And now his daughter is a lawyer. His daughter is a lawyer. So it trickles down. It trickles down so naturally. And but what is the skill? What is the skill that we actually want to do? And to put my life into it. I love computers. I love computers. And my skill, the thing that was put in front of me is always a big field in the tech field. Is always growing, is going to keep growing. Computers going to be everywhere. So you should learn how to take apart a computer and put it back together and stay up to date with everything that's been going on. And I still kind of do, but not as much as I was before. But when I started dealing with psychedelics, it's like I want to do something else. I like to paint. I like to draw. I like to create videos. I like to create trippy videos. I like to create not even just inspirational videos, but videos that make you tired, that have you tired. Combine your mind with your heart, connect those two circles, let whatever come out, come on out. And that's more what I like to do, as opposed to being on the technical side of knowing how to solder and take things out and do all of those cool things. And that is a skill that still will take me on and make me a lot of money. Still, this can perpetually bring me to that same status, but in a whole nother light where it doesn't seem as though I'm rejecting parts of myself. Because now it's still time for me to learn how to do computers. And the only reason I'm here now is because I took apart both of my computers and made it into one. I still had that skill kind of in there. And now I can use that little skill to make everything else be even better, or be more terrific. And I think that's a big leap that a lot of us not willing to go to. A lot of us don't have the heart to go to because our heart is so cold. Our heart is so we claiming our heart is cold, or we claiming a lot of different things, as opposed to just claiming the one thing that allows us to just be who we are, and not even have to question about who we are. Like, am I really being who I am in this moment? Or it comes up when you really think you enjoying yourself, and then you see somebody come in the picture around. If you stop what you're doing, or if you question what you're doing, or trying to see what you're doing based off what that person is seeing through your head, then that means you ain't really totally happy. I just see that as little mind triggers to be aware of, to let you know, let yourself wake up to yourself and get out of that reality loop bubble that you in, where you think that you good, you think that this is cool, or you think that you happy, you think that you're content, but you ain't really as content and happy as you really can be, And that's what these psychedelics been showing me, the possibility of what really can be in that type of particular moment. Like most people, like sitcoms, I'll say sitcoms ruined it a lot. And hey, baby girl, sitcoms ruined it a lot. Cause I remember when I first had a child and I was growing up and stuff, I said I always wanted to be like the dads on TV. I always wanted to be like funny, lighthearted, and but what I didn't know, that I was taking in everything. I need something to hold this up. I was taking in everything and this is what the mushroom showed me. Everything that the dad was on that TV, where they would get into these arguments with the spouse based off of these silly scenarios and things. And I always seen the scenarios as silly, but I brought into it because I was becoming a father, and I didn't want to be like my dad. So this was the archetype that was bubbling up in my mind. And I was always lucid enough to feel myself going into it. But once you practice something for a while, you don't feel yourself really getting lost into nothing. You just like, this is who I am. Like, this is who I am. This is the character let me go close this gate so the dog don't get out. Sorry, guys. Hey, Rudy. And this is what's going on. This is what's going on with me. What was I saying? Why was I about to put these headphones in? Yeah, I'm just tired. Yeah, we're seeing what. Oh man, I'm trying to picture what I was saying. But seeing what the psychedelics allow the possibility of that moment to actually be, how good it can be, how bad it actually could be. Like, it could be this good, it could be that bad, it could be like this, it could be like this. It reminds me of that Rick and Morty episode where he had the death crystal in his head, and he was able to see all the different ways that he was going to die, and it was always changing based off the next movement that he was making. I see that a lot with psychedelics. I see that a lot. And this, I think deja vu be kicking in with this. This term be kicking in deja vu. It's like we did this before. But it's like if you can get yourself to a point of awareness where you can see the approaching deja vu or see something coming and not get lost and not go into it and literally switch it up, I think that's where real alchemy comes into play. Like real tiredness comes into play. Like tying things around, flipping it around, flipping the script. Like literally flipping the script, changing the script, changing the script. Where then, oh, that's what I was saying too. Where then a scenario that's seen on a sitcom won't play out. That's what I was saying. I see myself as the dads a lot in sitcoms and playing it out because I didn't. That was the archetype that was literally playing in my head. And yeah, I was saying in the beginning, I was buying into it, and then it eventually became my experiences, and then everything else plays along with it too. That's what gets strange about it. That's what gets trippy about it, is that everything plays along to support that character. Everything, all the thoughts, everything that you think people thinking about you, and what people are saying, it all adds up to like some kind of sitcom. And I was saying that when I was watching shows like Martin and things like that, when they was getting to it with Gina, I was like, yo, this is like just what we was going through. And then I would try to point it out to my spouse what was going on, and it's like we would laugh at it then, but then when a scenario popped up, when I wasn't aware, it would just play out exactly like that. Like the laughs, the misunderstandings, going off the misunderstandings. And it's wild. And that's what make most people stop getting it from to relationships and stuff like that. But with the mushroom, I think when you're able to see these things coming, you can just say, I ain't playing that game no more. I ain't going into that loop. I ain't going into that thought form just because it's comfortable. And we would say, man, how is it comfortable if it's chaotic? A lot of us find comfortability in chaos. I think that that's kind of why we here in the first place. Because it's chaotic and we want to experience this. But now we don't want to experience that much, or we don't want to do this, we want to do that. But we have more control than we were led to believe overall too. I'm just jumping all over the place. We got a lot more control than we led to believe. That's why I don't let any one thought drive me down any one train. Like that thought I was just throwing could have drove me down that. But I'm like, yeah, that is true, and this is true. That we still have control. They try to lead us down that road. Like thoughts is a motherfucker. Thoughts are a motherfucker. They'll fuck your mother and give birth to a whole universe of fuck shit. I like that. I like that. Thoughts are a motherfucker. They'll fuck your mother and give birth to a whole bunch of shit. Just tie, just tie, just tie. Just think about these things. Like even me doing that. I seen that on TV a lot. Like I seen that was a deja vu moment for me. It was like I just did that a million times, and I seen myself doing it on TV a million times through different actors and Snoop or whoever it was, Wiz. Cause the time about smoking while I'm smoking, I'd seen the program in my mind about Wiz Khalifa, and I rock with Wiz Khalifa since I was in college. Like I was right at that fresh age of being in college, listening to Wiz Khalifa. Hey Martinez, thanks for letting me know you there. I was um I was listening to a lot. I was Test. There we go. Yeah, the mic thing I got on here is so sensitive. Thanks for pointing that out. If anybody in the future ever might cut off, just let me know on point. Because if I just touch the USB thing on here, it turns from a solid dot to a blinking dot. The microphone, the MIDI controller, and then it won't do anything. Even though it's still receiving power, if it's moved a little bit, it won't transmit the microphone. So we sensitive over here. We sensitive, but we working hard. Work hard, play hard, work hard, work hard. That's another Wiz song. But I just found myself relying on his character more than my character, I can say, to sum it up. I found myself relying on what he was getting out of his life to answer the problems that I had for my life. And I think so many people get caught up in that. So many people. Oh, he solved his problem. It's similar to what I was going through, so now my problem is solved. Especially when it's through a song. When it's as hypnotizing as a song. Because song does heal. Song does heal. But I will tie on and say, it depends on what state of mind you're in when you're listening to the song. Because you can be in a state of mind where a song is just playing in the background. You can be in a state of mind where a song is playing while you're studying. You can be in a state of mind where a studying or doing a craft or painting or something like that. Or you could be getting into music or feeling music could be played and somebody trying to get you to listen to it. Or music can be played while you're just by yourself twirling around and stuff like that. Where you feel as though, or you can be twirling around on psychedelics and it feels as though the song is literally talking to you. Like where the instruments is talking to you. Where you are the instruments. You're the singer. You're the bandmate. You're everything. So you experience what it is to be a drummer coming up in this band with these people around you playing this type of drum beat. You experience what it is to be this guitar player playing along the drum beat, still improvising for the solo, getting these keys, hitting that lick just right. And the singer getting out the vocals over top of the drum beat, all the syncopation going on at the same time, and what y'all all must have went through to produce something like this and have this experience, to be able to even push through a dimension and literally be in that experience of the band. I think that's a whole nother level, and that's how I like to experience music. I'm gonna post some music links to music that I really like, or go on the Discord. It's all on the Discord. But when I type in Gaslamp Killer, the Boiler Room, or when he was in London as well, when I listen to his set that he made, it's like I get raptured. And I'm on a microdose or a little dose of mushroom. I get raptured. I get raptured up into every little sound, and I really like feel a healing from it, as if I just went somewhere else and now I'm back. I start getting new views on my problems in life, as if the song as if a alien or my consciousness or something took the form of that in order to talk to me. And I'm just like, yeah, that is what, yeah. And I don't know how it go. So when you're young, I will say, you get caught up. You get caught up in the music. You get caught up in the tides of you get caught up in the waves. You just literally get caught up in the waves. Caught up in the waves. Rappers literally say, I'm creating a new wave. I'm creating a wave. I got so many sons and daughters out here. Your rappers say this all the time. All the time. And how much, and even culture, hip hop culture, rock culture. Like, culture means that people are born into this and now adapt to what's going on and live in it and create in that environment, create in that culture, are creative based off of what that culture brought to the table. And we all know what Terrence said back in the day. Culture is not your friend. Culture is never your friend. Culture is not your friend. When you want to experience yourself, experience what I'm talking about. It is your friend because we still live with it. But y'all know what I mean. Y'all, everything I mean talking about is what I'm really trying to get at. Because when I say that blanket statement, it's like, oh man. But no, culture, I like the remix culture. Remix the culture, whatever culture you're in, remix it. Remix it. And it always comes with feedback. With feedback and backlash, backlash. People always say, man, he's taking things out of the culture and mixing it with this. Now he's diluting it. And it's not really what it always used to be. It's not what it used to be. I don't think anything should be what it used to be. That's why we don't go play old games that much anymore. We don't go play unless we like high or we with friends or something. We really want to bring about that experience. But we don't go play old video games on PS1. We wait till they remake it. Like, that's why they making a lot of remakes on PS4. They about to make Need for Speed Underground 2. I got that on PS2 though. I actually was playing it. I got the steering wheel. So that's what made it different for me. Playing it on PS2 was that I got the actual steering wheel and stuff. And I never experienced. I got the pedals and everything. I got it for Mario Kart too. But overall, people not just going to jump in and play a PS2 game and get as much joy as if when they remake it on PS4 with better graphics, probably new track lists, you could play online now with your friends like you couldn't do on PS2. It's something, it's a remix of that culture. It's still going to have the aesthetics of what made Need for Speed Underground series so rich and awesome compared to all the other Need for Speeds like Most Wanted. I was just about to spew on how much my Need for Speed knowledge, but I know a lot about Need for Speed. But that was the jewels. That was some good jewels right there. That was some good jewels. And now they bringing it back. They doing a Resident Evil. They did it with Crash Bandicoot. They keep doing it with Mario. All the Mario games are basically the same. They just add new levels, add new power-ups, add new obstacles, make it 3D now. It's not just 2D, but they remixed the 2D with the 3D because they know that we love that side-scrolling action. They know that we love that culture. But it's remixed. And psychedelics bring about this remix culture for sure. Because, like, if I'm going to be a part of this picture, I'm going to change some things around. Where you paint black, I'm going to paint blue. Where you paint pink, I'm going to paint translucent. Like, my daughter's favorite color, she says is shiny black. I never heard anybody say that before besides her. And I always remind her too so she don't forget. But she like to switch around, and I like that too. But if you catch her off guard sometimes, if you catch her and she really in herself, she would say shiny black. Not just black, shiny black. And that's her remix. She like, I'm born in this culture. I know who I am. I know how I see things. So this is what I call it. Black and brown, blue and green. I think that's what Dr. Seuss. You just remind me of Dr. Seuss, Matias. Dr. Seuss, Green Eggs and Ham. We was all introduced to Green Eggs and Ham when we was young. That book was dope. They just came out with a show on Netflix. I watched the first 2 episodes called Green Eggs and Ham. And then the second episode, it gets a little trippy. They go on like this slight trip. They ain't gonna call it a trip, but if you had a trip, you know what you seeing when you watch the show. But Sam I Am, Green Eggs and Ham. And I think the more comfortable you are with yourself, you just produce it. And then you realize that that's what people wanted in the first place. And because that's what you always wanted in the first place. Like, the more secure, like a secure weirdo is awesome. Or a secure outsider. Like, that's why I think that's another reason they make all these movies with all these stereotypes about being a drug dealer or a gangster or robbing a bank. I was thinking about Ocean's 12 earlier, how that was somebody's dream of them robbing a bank. And they was like, I ain't gonna go rob a bank, but I sure will make a movie about it. I got all these concepts of how I wish things will actually work out. And even if they don't work out, there's still my imagination of it. I still, if I failed, it still would have been fun. But I ain't gonna do that in my actual life. I'm gonna do it in this movie. And then people say, I saw that movie. I was inspired to rob a bank because I saw that movie. Like, oh, come on, come on. It's supposed to be imaginative. But that's how it is. It's the never-ending story. Never-ending story. But that took me off the tangent I was just on. But I was Dr. Seuss remixing. I don't know what I was on. I just was tired. And that's what makes me know that all of these, like, even no matter what kind of energy that you take on, that energy is a vehicle taking you through an experience. And as soon as you let go of that energy, you ready to take on a new experience. It's that letting go thing that's so hard for a lot of people. So hard for a lot of people. Letting go of who they just thought they was 5 seconds ago or 2 minutes ago. mm. Oh, that's what I was saying. Bringing back things to this reality. You see that that's what everybody was looking for, the confident weirdo, a confident outsider in the movies that people make when they talk about, yep, I remember everything that I said now. Then when they talk about the gangsters and stuff, why they put this in movies is because it's like, and they make them confident and stuff, is because that's like an archetype, a feeling that we all try to go for. Like, I'm on the outside, but I'm cool about being out here. I'm cool about, I grew up, I grew up in my own world, so the world around me wasn't into it, but I was into it. But I was real into punk music, just like, they were just like, man, we ain't gonna learn how to technically play the guitars. We're just gonna thrash hard, learn these chord possessions, and play as fast as we fucking can. And we just gonna be cool. We gonna be cool. We got our people that think we cool and stuff like that. But overall, in movies though, where you can actually live that kind of life out and be totally happy at the same time, is I was about to say that's like a trap. That's like a trap a lot of people fall into because it's a feeling that people are chasing. But when you start dealing with these, I want to stop saying when you start dealing with these substances. When you take some shrooms or smoke some DMT, you see how this story that you're living right now is a story. Just like that person is living a story. And in this story, when you take these mushrooms in the proper set and setting, you can experience outside of your story while still being in your story. And you can and you see how both of those worlds are here at the same time, and you start combining them, and you start feeling cool because you're like, oh, I'm already in my outside. Now I can be cool. Now I'm cool because I am outside. I found my gangster. I found my inner G. I found my inner punk. Found my inner rock star. My inner president. Whoever it is y'all look up to. I am all of that. I am all of that and in between. And in between. I think this archetype even comes up with, I just looked at my daughter and it reminded me of what I was chasing for a long time too, was a muse. A muse. I was chasing a muse. Now I will enjoy a muse nowadays, but I was literally chasing a muse in physical form. Somebody that had the characteristics of being worldly in the head, like out there in the head, and being all artsy and flowing with their life, and just being real out there with their life. and just me tagging along with them, and just because I'm with them, I'm experiencing what they experienced. And I experienced this with guys as well, where in my college days and growing up in high school and stuff, like my bros, like they was always more in skating and stuff. They was always more active than me. Like you would say, more actively rebellious than me, more actively against whatever system it was that we grew up in, and was having. It seems like they was having more fun. And then eventually, and then I would always be like the one that was kind of in my head, and just, yeah, the thinking one. I used to call myself FML when I was younger, and all of my skater friends called me FML, and y'all know that stands for fuck my life. But I didn't really see it as, oh, fuck my life. I just seen it as a whole nother light, and they just knew who I was. They'd be like, yo, what's up, FML? Yo, what's going on, FML? I'm like, hey, what's going on, bros? I just thought I saw somebody walk by, and there's nobody there. But I'll say hey anyway. But yeah, that was always me. And then it turned to me wanting a girl to be around, me searching for a girl, or me searching for movies where the girl archetype. Like I always thought of the girl archetype, where it's like that fresh spirit, that fresh nuance to the world. Not have a fresh naivete to the world. They just going out, not really overthinking things, just in the woo, as people say. I'm thinking about Bridge to Terabithia. Bridge to Terabithia is one of my favorite movies growing up, and that was about a boy that was growing up in the family with the dad that was always trying to work him too hard, didn't really care about his art. But it was this girl that moved next door that had these two writers as parents, and she dressed all weird, different, like she had cut off pants and fingerless gloves and stuff like that, and she liked to go out in the woods. So, and she had a huge imagination. So in this movie, he used to go with her out to the woods, and they used to imagine creatures, like how I just said, I probably saw somebody walking by. She would go into that, say, oh, that was the magical gremlin. We gotta prepare now. And she would just have her whole fun like she was tripping on mushrooms in the woods. And he didn't really believe it at first, or really see it at first, but he was out for the adventure. He's like, man, I'm willing to go with you. You seem cool. Like, this is fun. It's better than being in the house and stuff like that, and living life I was already living. So eventually he was able to see, after playing longer, he was able to see the the creatures that she was seeing, because it wasn't like an imagination to her. It was as if she was going to the forest and she was seeing these creatures and playing out these games. And then eventually he was able to see it. And then eventually in the movie she dies. She dies, and now he has to carry on that end of himself. And now I see that that's a part that psychedelics got me to, because then people like males specific, and males and females too, always searching for that union of opposites and trying to find it through all the means necessary of that's deal with being physical, rather than having sex with each other, spending a lot of time around each other. And that, I think all of that is like secondary compared to what is actually possible with yourself, and what these substances show what you can do with yourself. That now I'm in the woo. I like to just go out to the woods. I like to imagine things for myself. I like to create. I like to be inspirate. I like to just be so much into the imagination world or the tile world, no matter no matter what anybody else is into, and be comfortable about it, have fun with it, see it as fun and not something I'm escaping to. But yes, this is always here. This is what it is. I turn the corner and there goes a gremlin. And even with the tie show, like just going on, just tying, just letting whatever come out, doing the art things I put together, and the art videos, or talking, just doing anything. Like, I didn't never do any of that. I would never just say hi and be ready to spark up a conversation with a random person. I'd be willing to like side eye somebody walking with my head down and keep it moving. But now everything is popping. It can just chill, as long as chill vibes, it's all right. It's all right. And even if it's hype vibes, it's all right. Even if it's sad vibes, it's all right. because I know what I'm able to create. I know I have something now to bring to the situation that deals with being generally happy. Deals with being generally happy or being satisfied, generally satisfied, enjoying, generally enjoy the situation, enjoy the situation. Like I said, enjoy compared to happiness mean you're enjoying all the emotions, whatever it is, whatever it is. That's what I'm saying to myself. But finish this. Drop the mic. Mm, 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 What would life be? What would life be if I never took this substance? If I never took mushrooms? Never took mushrooms or looked into it or any of that. And I say that too because I've been tying like, but it's because I took that dose. I moved into a reality where now I'm connecting with people on this base, on this kind of level, and now I'm in this experience where now it's becoming decriminalized and people are talking more about it. Where if I never took it, my thoughts would have never been encountered around these things, so it would have never been my reality, and it would have never happened in the first place. And then another reality where I just would have been witnessing it on TV, but I would have been so much into religion or whatever it is that I was caught up in that I would have seen it as just drugs. And like, oh, wow, I'm spiritual. Yeah, it can change that much. It can. And it is. It already is. I can't wait to try how the fuck I'm going to be comfortable with everything if not. Yeah, man, it's you. But I would say that being as comfortable as you can right now, if you already like doing a kind of efficient job, or even if not, if even if it don't seem like the efficiency is there, but if the care is there, once you start dealing with the substances, that care is gonna overtake overtake everything, overtake everything. Because a lot of people don't care to try to make things comfortable. Don't care to try to make things comfortable with everything. They like, that's who that is, that's what that is, that's what that is, that's who I am. And that's what it is. Oh. No, you take it. That's what Brad gave me. Yeah, he just said roll one up for him when I roll up. But yeah, really being comfortable, and that I went through that yesterday. I brought this story already. I ain't gonna go through it again, but I was telling you, Martinez, about I went out yesterday because I was going through stuff in my head, and I found myself staying at my computer, staying in. It felt I was in a loop. I knew I was in a loop. I was like, I know how to get myself out of the situation. I just got to start working on these videos. I got to get this Wi-Fi working because the computer stuff was messing with me. I wanted to do a project, and I got into misunderstandings, and I was just like, I don't. But it was still on my mind. I wasn't as comfortable as I thought. I was trying to make myself comfortable doing the computers, but since I already experienced what it is to be comfortable, I was like, I got out of that deja vu, and I was like, I'm going to the park. I'm going to relax. I'm going to skate, take a little bit of this mushroom, and I'm just tie it on out. And that's what I did. And it took a lot of courage. And I say a lot of courage, even though it don't feel like that much, but that's only because I'm building up a muscle. It becomes a muscle, and I want that muscle to be stronger. I still got a lot more time to go to keep working out in the gym, but right now it's getting a lot more comfortable, and it's all those thoughts, like working out them thoughts, going to the thought gym. Going to the thought gym as much as possible, because the fears will stop you. Like, man, I don't want to experience this situation fully. Like, I be having those thoughts, like, man, it's gonna bring about this fully, I ain't gonna be able to handle it. I gotta handle it this way. I was like, man, no, let it all go. Then you already know, like, letting it all go, once you let things go, that's when you have the most control. Gotta lose yourself to find yourself. All them sayings start just popping up. All them cliches start popping up. This is why you start getting into cliches. And when I start getting into cliches, that's how I know I'm cool. When I gotta add a cliche on top of a cliche, and then write a paragraph essay and then a book about it. I'm like, all right. I'm lost somewhere. It's fun. It's fun. I probably created some awesome things while I'm out here, and they got me to this cool point. But now I want to remix this real fast. Remix this reality, and jump realities real quick. Something like that. Yeah, bros. I mean, yeah. Whew. I was getting a little winded right there. But you got anything else that was on your mind, Matias? And I'm gonna still put it out there for everybody that if you ever want to jump in the Discord, hop in the Discord, click on the Discord, or that's how we talk and conversate on here. Conversate, have conversations on here. We can have your audio heard, or if you ever want to come in the future and do video, side by side, whatever it is, we can hook it all up. So I'm testing everything out so we can have this on the ball rolling, on the ball and rolling. I'm on the ball and I'm rolling it. Can I throw it? Can I dribble it? Nah, you gotta roll the ball. Nah, I want to be on the ball and dribble up and down the court. You can be, don't know, but I see that you can offer much more of your heart in your interactions with each other. Yep, interactions with each other. People don't offer their heart. That's why I use the term. I got away from that term conversation or conversate, whatever, blah blah blah, and said the conversation, because the conversation got that combining your mind with your heart, connecting those two circles. That whatever come on out. Because we had most conversations with people and they don't got no thought. They just telling you what they thinking, not really what's going on with them. I'm trying to scroll this up. In your interactions with each other, in the noise, it's like a jungle throwing some things. Wrap this and stabilize it with everything else. It's beautiful. Yeah, yep. It's the heart is the stabilizing factor. The heart is like that foundation. That foundation. Like we all have a heart. We can all think differently. We can all have all these thoughts pass on and attach to them or not or something like that. But it's like when it comes to matters of the heart, that's where that connection is. Even with all things that you can experience, I didn't experience a little of everything, but you keep moving, and even if you don't give a fuck, and even if you don't give a fuck of these digits. Let me read that again. Even with all these things you can experience, I didn't with a little of everything, but you keep moving. Yep, you keep on moving. Even if you didn't get the experience that you wanted. Even if you keep on dreaming, keep on dreaming. That line, Meek Mills, ran into my head, dream chasers. Chase that dream. Chase that dream. Chase that dream. Whew. But it do come with realizing what is the dream too. So I like lucid dreaming. Getting real into that. You ever lucid dream before? Alright, cool. Make sure you're back on. You ever lucid dream? Cause I could say now that I'm older, having these lucid dreams again, like especially since dealing with psychedelics, it's like I remember having all these kind of dreams when I was younger. I remember having multiple like wild fantastic dreams when I was younger. Fantastic. That's probably why I like to take naps all the time. Had a dream where I wake up and see the faces of my parents and they were still, completely still, and the dream ended. Floating and flying. Floating and flying, flying and floating. I'm trying to see. I seen my mom a couple times in my dreams. I've never seen my dad in my dream. I seen my dad in a trip. But I never seen I know it just took no. I never seen my dad in a dream. That's wild. I must really not think of him. But not much recently because the weed, but these days too. Yeah, because some people try to say weed stop you from lucid dreaming, and some people say weed brings on lucid dreaming. I think it's all about you and your personal chemistry. What's going on? Cause I be hearing, I hear everything, and I don't know. I be trying to judge my experiences, but some days I have them, some days I don't, and I'm always smoking. But I do be doing shrooms at different times. Hold on. Oh, I actually wanted to start the podcast like this, but I forgot. Let me drag this over here. Is I wanted to look up the word meaning. Like when they say something has meaning, or this means this means something, this means that. I wanted to look up what the word actually meant. I even already got it right here. Let me zoom in so y'all can see. Zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom. Probably not that much. Alright. Meaning, plural meanings. What is meant by a word, text, concept, or action? The meaning of a word, supermarket. Implied or explicit significance. He gave me a full look of meaning. I never heard that sentence before. He gave me a full look of meaning. That's cool. Wait, how to... There it is. And important or worthwhile quality or purpose. So that's what they saying meaning means. Important or worthwhile quality or purpose. This can lead to a new meaning in life of older people. Intended to communicate something that is not directly expressed. She gave Gabriel a meaning look. Similar as meaningful, significant, pointed, eloquent, expressive. Meaning. Because in the melancholic world, you can get caught up, melancholy, you can caught up and say that nothing means nothing. Or nihilism. You can caught up in nihilism. Let's see what they say about this word. Nihilism, the rejection of all religious and moral principles, in the belief that life is meaningless. Philosophy, extreme skepticism, meaning that nothing in the world has a real existence. Historical, the doctrine of an extreme Russian revolutionary party in the 1900s was found nothing to approve of in the established social order. In the origin, nihil meaning nothing in English, ism, put it together, it means the nothingism, the nothing, the nothingness. That nothing means nothing. And that's cool that is what that word actually breaks down to. Here go y'all. That let me get back on here. That's what those two words break down to, because meaning when psychedelics, people get caught up in like a whole, to me, a reality is meaning. As soon as something means something, that's a whole reality, that's a whole experience. As soon as you say something means something. And I think that's why before psychedelics, a lot of people be so angry and sad saying nothing means nothing. I know that nothing means nothing. But then they like, it's nothing else but the nothing. And there's no experience without psychedelics of what that nothing, that no thing actually is. Not to psychedelics, you can break that nothing down to no thing and actually see it as still such a thing as a thing. But that nothing and meaningless and nihilism. Because when I came back from my big trip, from one of my trips, I was like, I could have easily got caught in nihilism, that none of this means anything. And that's why I love the duality of being a magician, that none of this means nothing. Life is a joke. That's what the ultimate thing out there told me. Whatever quotations you put on it. Even my thing is quotations. It was like that this all is a joke. Wonka wonka, like the clown horn. I got a video all documenting all of that. And whoop, they just got me out of that train. Then, because it's like, this ain't even meaning, but I'm making this meaningful right now, just because. I'm just tying. I'm just tying. There, the set streams continue. I'm just tying. I'm just tying. Like, that's why I always say, what I say don't mean anything, but it means everything and nothing at all at the same time. Everything. So that's what, like, break when you get real down to that, those words, and really experience those words, what it is for things to be so meaningful, and that you see that things only exist here because we hold a purpose to it. Things is held here because we hold in a certain level of vibration to it. The TVs, everything looks the same because of how her mind is making it do. And then the substances, that's why when things start looking a little wavy, things start popping up out of the that was always there in the subconscious, that wasn't there before. I mean, that was there but wasn't projecting itself before. It wasn't projecting because it wasn't your mindset. It wasn't what you was on. It wasn't meaningful to you. It wasn't meaningful to you. And how can something be meaningful to you if you never experienced it before? That's why I see like these mushrooms and DMT push you into these experiences. They have nothing that seems at first to have nothing to do with what's going on around you, or definitely seems as though it had nothing, it was not ever related or meaningful to anything that ever happened before in your life. But then you see it was all there all along. But that's just adding more meaning and philosophy to it. But going into these trips, you do have to have a type of nihilist type of view that nothing really has meaning to it. Besides the meaning that you give to it, and the meaning that other people give to it, or the meaning that it is given to itself. Whatever reality that you're in the moment, whatever reality that you're in. And this is what, and it's so much of a, so significant. It's so significant, and I'm gonna use that phrase to mean to replace never-ending story, to say how this is related to this, or synchronicities. It's very significant. It has a broad, significance to it. I'm gonna nail it down. I'm gonna nail that word down in the coffin. But everything, everything is working all together. Everything is working all together. So even when things are not meaningful, I don't know. I was about to say when things are not meaningful. Why am I saying that? It's wild trying to talk about meaning while trying not be so meaning at the same time. Like, that's how I just naturally am. But yeah, significance is because the word. It's all in the word. It's all in the etymology. It's all in the breakdown. It's all in the spirit. It's all in the experiences that I'm seeing. Because then you come back and you say, wow, a lot of things that was meaningful to me before are not meaningful to me. They don't mean anything to me now. And when you really get to that point where they don't mean things to you anymore, we see how they broke it down. We see how they broke it down in here, It don't have any significance, explicit significance, or it's not really a worthwhile quality. It's just not worthwhile me doing that anymore. I don't think I'm really like destroying my life, because at the biggest sense, I can't really destroy my life because this life is just a game. It's just a joke. But it's just not a worthwhile quality. I'm not proposed to this. I have not proposed to this, so it doesn't seem like it's my purpose anymore. I want to develop my own skill. Like we were saying earlier, this is my own skill that I want to do to make my own a different purpose in this life, because this is what's important to me. This is what now has meaning to me. And you can even change the meaning to words. That's how powerful we are. We can change the meaning to words. Like you see me now changing significance and all this, the Thai, and that's what I'm doing. Putting my own meaning, remixing culture. Every lot of people out here doing this. Shouts to the True Fan. Saying what is meant by a word, text, concept, or action. We taking the word crazy, weird, out there, psycho night, mushroom head. I do shrooms. I do shrooms to help me. I do shrooms to help my life get better. I do take place in these plant medicines to better my life and dive deeper into myself. Like all of those phrases had a different connotation on them before we started talking about them. They still have a connotation on them that people are still not all hip and hippity hip about saying that this is them and this is me and stuff like that. A lot of people still shy off. My name is Gift of the Born in Saint Fire. Gift of the Born. The thread that unites this few approaches that you have had. Wait, the thread that unites this few approaches that you have, that put in the horizon the things that are meaningful to you, and that keeps the ball rolling. It sure does. It sure does. And keeping the eye on the prize. Keeping the eye on the prize. Just what prize is it? What prize is it? The glitz, glamour, fame, and fortune? Or is it being wealthy, self-satisfied, good friends, has some awesome skills, always willing to learn new skills, and free time? Or that is your free time. It's just your time. It's your time, not anybody else's time. Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm gonna tie you off pretty soon. I'm getting real winded. Again, I kind of headspace getting out there. Headspace getting out there. But yeah, Martiez, thanks for coming. Thanks for tying with me. Thanks for tying with me, tying it out. It brought about some more experiences to the show. That's what I want this to be. I want it to be everybody, anybody, not everybody, because everybody seems like a goal. Like my meaning, my purpose is to get everybody. No, just anybody. Just talk it out, tie it on out. I really do appreciate it. I do really do appreciate you for coming on. But yeah. If y'all want to support the channel, anybody watching this in the future, I got the links. I'm put the links in the description. If you want to help out creatively, financially, by chatting, hey, come on by. Come on by. Hey, thank you. You're welcome, because I hear you. You're welcome. And thank you. I started getting that from Indian people. Like people that grew up in India and come over here. Like if you go to the gas station and you don't really say, you're welcome back, and they say thank you or something. Like most of the time they don't say thank you because they know most people don't say you're welcome back. And they're like, well, I said thank you. And their culture is shaped differently. And then I started taking notes. I don't say you're welcome. I'm just so hyped about saying, no, well, thank you. Because that's what people be doing. They try to come off somewhere. No, thank you. Thank you. But yo, I hear you. I'm listening to you. You're welcome. And also thank the hell out of you. Like I'm saying, I got the ways to support the channel would be as I was saying, the Cash App, support on Reddit, by sharing your stories, by participating, just letting people know that this is stories that people do actually do want to hear things like this. Like you said, Matias, that we all need this. We all need this. So share these videos on social media. Share these on social media so that random conversations can be heard. Even if they just see the thumbnail and just tie on the thumbnail, or just tie on why would this person post something like this? You don't gotta talk to them, just post it. We post things on our social medias all the time. All the time. This is just another one like that. Another diamond in the rough. Another diamond in the rough. But we shining over here, cause it's always rough, but we know, we see everything. We see everything. Yeah, I enjoy this. I really do enjoy all of this, but I keep saying but. I really do enjoy all of this. Take it all in. Cause I never thought that I would be connected. I've always just thought that I would be connected with people. And the more that it becomes an actuality, the more I'm surprised. The more I'm surprised. I'm surprised, but still going at it. Still going at it. But yeah. I feel a lot of things. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments in the future. Like I was saying, join in. I feel everything. Just bring it up. But yeah, guys, yeah, I'm out. All links in the description below. Support the channel. Drop some likes. Hit it as many times as you possibly can. Because if you only can hit it once, but you feel as though you hitting it 10 times, that means somebody else gonna come in the picture and hit it those other 9 times, just to make up for what you couldn't do. We all tie, but do we really tie? Sometimes I don't know, dude. Sometimes I really don't know. This is Tai saying Tai always. Ta 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 ta.